Here with Life Cycles Counseling. Sans Maya today. She is seeing clients, so she's regretfully not here. But today is episode or minisode number 15, so I will do the honors for her, and she'll be back next week. Spring cleaning. We're not talking about spring cleaning your house. We're talking about spring cleaning your relationship. And some signs that it's time that maybe you call it quits with your significant other. Okay, so we're going to talk briefly about some signs that you should be aware of, to kind of give you an indication that maybe it's time to have a difficult conversation that nobody likes to have, because we've invested a lot in our romantic relationships, right, guys? And so it's difficult to think about, giving that up. We've invested time, we've invested energy, maybe we've invested a lot of money. So let's look at some things that are some red flags that you should be looking at when deciding whether you should have this difficult conversation of moving on or breaking up. One of these signs is an emotional issue. If you're having emotional discord, maybe your values aren't lining up with your partner's. Maybe you're just hitting a roadblock. You're looking, your need is for him or her to acknowledge when you're feeling a certain way, and instead you're just feeling a lot of pushback. Maybe the relationship is sort of your fixer-upper project, right? We've had individuals in the practice say many, many times that, well, I can change him and I can change her. I just need a little more time, right? We've all been there. I've definitely been there. Again, it's a red flag, because ultimately we have no control over the people that we're with, as far as wanting them to change. Yeah. If change were easy, I'd be out of a job, I think. Yeah. I'm thinking that's the case. Right. So number one sign is, looking for, not being really clear on, emotional connectivity. Yeah. And another sign, pretty big sign, is intimacy. If there are problems in the bedroom, no, lack of sex is not a reason to break up. Yeah. It doesn't mean that, you're in a lot of trouble. But it sure is a sign that something is wrong. And it's not even the frequency of sex that's the issue. It's not having that emotional connection. Right? So what do we do? What do we do about this? We definitely want to have some conflict resolution with our partner, if at all possible. And so that involves setting some time aside, asking if, they're available to talk, and being very clear on what the problem is. Because if your problem is not the same as their problem, then there can be no solution. So the first step really is to identify the problem. I feel upset when you tell me that my parenting sucks in front of the kids. That's a problem. So being very clear first on what the problem is, and then sitting down to figure out the solutions. And if it's a case of being undervalued or being disrespected, give very clear examples of what that looks like, and just kind of see what the response is from your partner, and if that's something that they're willing to work on to further the relationship. And then, the intimacy, the lack of sex, or maybe the intensity of the bed, of relationships and the bedroom. That's another conversation that you just have to have. I think one of the really good exercises, or one of the exercises that seems to work pretty well with my couples that come to see me, is, having a list of things that turn you on and a list of things that turn you off. And then also having your partner make up those same lists, and then comparing notes, and finding those commonalities of things that you can do. Because a lot of times when we are not feeling like being sexual, it's because we're overworked, or we're stressed, or the kids are hanging all over us, or there's just a multitude of other things. And so if you're not feeling good about yourself inside, you're not going to have anything to give to the partner. Yeah. And so making sure that they also know what turns you on and what turns you off is very, very important. Okay, so we talked about emotional connectivity. We talked about problems in the bedroom. We talked about ways that you can combat that. So I think the key takeaway here is the more you invest in the relationship, the more it shapes your choices, the more it shapes your decisions, and ultimately your life. And it's very, very hard to say goodbye. However, saying goodbye is sometimes needed when it's affecting your mental and your emotional well-being. I think we can all agree on that there. So Maya has a couple more signs of times it's your job to assess when it's time to break up, and I will post it in the links under the comment section of this Facebook Live. And next week, we'll be talking about what breakups leave behind. What happens when all we want to do is get revenge on our significant other because they did something so terrible to us, and what that does to us as a human being. So that's what we'll be talking about next time. Maya is on a relationship kick, so we'll be doing a lot of relationship Facebook Lives and blogs coming up in the next couple weeks. All right, guys, comment and let us know if you liked this Minisode number 15, or visit our website at adinasilvestri.com, and go to the contact page, and we would love to hear from you. Okay, bye, guys.